like to eat like snacks. So it has to do with that.
We all love snacks. They're fine. Well, and the other part of it is also nourishing your heart chakra. So I'm also seeing that there is some, work to just do emotionally, and that's part of nourishing ourselves too. And what's interesting is that you're talking about the nutrition and what you're eating, and that correlates really, really closely with how we are emotionally and how we are spiritually. And it's kind of like however we're doing emotionally, spiritually is usually reflected in what we're eating, and they're usually pretty connected. And so that's interesting that came up, because the better we do with our health, the better we usually do with our goals and what we're doing on a daily basis to get towards our goals. But I do see that you have an understanding of the law of attraction.
Mhm.
So have you been practicing that lately?
Yeah.
On the air, you get this free reading, and we get to go. This is just a reminder that you're too, and I think it's beautiful. Full moon, your time and your energy on things that aren't serving you.
Yeah. I
So
feel that.
yeah, this is all really good. So yeah, and time to just do what you need to do by yourself.
Mm. Yeah. I feel that. Definitely. I enjoy that. I enjoy doing stuff by myself.
Well, I think I know you have a little one, your mom, and it's like you have probably a limited amount of time to yourself and for the things, that you've been wanting to work towards. But of course, you're intelligent. I'm getting that you're intelligent and that you're also very open.
I am.
So that's going to work for you in a way of being able to utilize your time that you have, whatever time you do have, to work towards your goals. So I also feel like there's some help from friends. Do you have help from friends to kind of either figure out what it is that you'd want to do, or help with meeting your goals, or just supporting you in your goals, or?
A lot of help from my family and friends with my child, and I feel very supported by my community, which
That's
feels good. And I think that is valuable.
right. And that's what I'm getting is going to be really helpful for you moving forward. Now, I'm getting that there's a male presence who may be a kind of an energy suck. This could be, your child's father. It could be an ex, or I mean, it could be just like masculine. I'm feeling like it's a male energy and that it's a little draining.
Hmm.
So is that
Yeah,
sounding
that's
familiar?
kind of. Yeah. I
Oh,
feel like always hard co-parenting with my son's father. I
mhm,
feel like I do more than he does. He gets insulted when I say stuff like that. So
mhm.
it's always like trying to find a balance. But
Right.
I'm pretty clear about what I want and I kind of demand it. So I don't know.
So you're able to set some pretty good boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Okay. So that's a good thing. I would just continue with those boundaries, because I think what may happen is it may start to wear you down if you start to get into something like your job or schooling, and you just might not want to deal with it. But to keep those boundaries nice and solid, and just to make sure that you ask for help from all of your support group and to continue that. Because if you're going to get through, like, let's say a training program, or really learn to do something where you can have a nice solid career, you're going to need to invest the time in a very methodical way where you're consistent. And
Hmm.
now I don't know your, and I'm not trying to throw him under the bus at all. I know that our children's fathers are very valuable parts of our lives and our children's lives, but I am feeling like he may try to sabotage, because there's a story going on in his head about how you fill in the blanks, and that's why he fill in the blank. And so he may subconsciously, not like intentionally, try to sabotage, but just in like a subconscious way where, oh, but he needs to complete, there needs to be like a story that supports his narrative. Does that make sense the
Hmm.
way I explained it?
I don't really get that part. I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to understand.
And I know we're on the radio and we're kind of public here, but I mean, I'm just seeing that there may be something that will come Awesome. Okay, well, that's
So
fantastic.
for now, I don't know what my overall degree will be. I don't know.
Well, great. I mean, taking those classes and getting through it is fantastic. So that's why I was getting that things will start before grandma has, some extra needs that where you're going to need to take care of her. So this is all falling into place beautifully, which is perfect.
Mm.
So we know that spirit is on track and leading me into the right place. So that's all good. Now, this is where we talk about you being really creative because I'm getting an action card for you now. I'm just going to show our viewers real quick, and maybe you can see it too, that this is an action card where she's basically working her magic and she's just like starting in on this, I don't know what you want to call it, like a project or something. I'm trying to like get it to zoom in. But anyway, it's an action card where she's basically dancing. Her creativity is coming out. This is where your creativity needs to come out and like really figure out what it is that you would be happy doing for the long term. So I hear you saying, well, I'm doing something, in psychology. I'm kind of interested in that, and what can get us really connected to what it is that we love to do and that we would just be the most happy doing and be worth spending all that time doing the training for it is when we get into our creative element. So this is also the divine feminine, where us women, we get real creative. You can do art, you can start really, putting just something where you're like putting your hands in the dirt, or you're there's dance, there's music, all those really wonderful creative things that just speak to your heart. And this is where I'm seeing it would be really beneficial for you to really start getting aligned with your creativity so that you can really get connected to spirit and what it is that you would be most happy doing for others. So when you're the happiest doing that for others, they're going to get the most benefit because you're going to be so good at it. It'll be like your forte. It'll be like your trade.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely getting to get into that creative element and get into your gratitude of what it is that you just are so thankful for. What is it that you're just elated to be part of in your life? The first thing I go to is my family, your relationships with those close to you, your home, a bed to sleep in, your food, everything. There are a lot of people who are really struggling right now. They don't, they're wondering if they're going to lose their house, their place to live. They're having trouble feeding their children, basically. And the pandemic has done this to so many people. So, I think it's about getting into your gratitude and just feeling that beautiful gratitude of like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I, say thank you 3 times every time I think of what I'm grateful for. And the more gratitude we give, the more that we're on the receiving frequency. So I really feel like that gratitude and your creativity, getting into those 2 elements will be very helpful for you. And I can already see like you've done your hair blue. It's gorgeous. I can see you're very
Mhm.
creative. And I can see
Thank
that,
you.
yeah. And, even when I first met you, you just had on like this beautiful long gown and had done your hair and your makeup beautifully. And I can tell that you have that creative spark in you just from observing you. So that's a good quality that you have. And then to just be really open to whatever, don't say no to anything just because you're like, well, I don't know if I'd like that. I think that really you'd be really good at doing something where there's not a lot of judgment to pass, like, because I really feel like you're very non-judgmental.
Mhm. I'm very non-judgmental, yeah.
And
I
that you
try to
would,
be.
yeah, I think that that's really, really true about you, that you'd be really open to working with just about anybody from any walk of life. So that could be social worker, it could be psychologist, but I really feel like your psychologist it can be very sterile. And there are a lot of rules and regulations, not a lot of room for creativity or doing things your way. And I feel like because you're so creative and because of your personality, you may need something a little more independent where you're not so
I
controlled.
could see my like what I really want is like just like a space where I could like have all of my friends together to like just like doing readings and growing vegetables and all that. But I don't really know how I'm supposed to acquire like the financial means to do something like that. That's the thing. That's like my dream.
Well,
Like
that
kind of like
sounds like a
a
co-op.
yeah, that's exactly like that's how it would be like all like sisterhood and you know.
That sounds really beautiful. I mean, that sounds like a beautiful dream,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of ways you could go about doing that. But it's also, I think, about getting the people that you can trust in your circle.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I know that in time it's all going to kind of fall into place, honestly. So I'm just kind of take, like you said, the baby steps along the way
Right.
in the meantime.
Yeah, and I think that either way, that you just be getting those classes and getting those basically your associates out of the way. If you need to take more classes to transfer something, great. Sometimes things come up though, and I'm getting this for you, where you would be able to get training, like you'll find something you love, and it's going to be more creative, and it's going to align beautifully with your
Mhm.
vision. I mean, I don't want to say anything specific about what it would be. Well, Spirit isn't actually telling me what it would be specifically, because it's your journey to find it, and that's part of your growth process.
Mhm.
So sometimes Spirit says, no, she has to find it on her own, but I see it coming. I see that this is the doorway. What you're doing now is the doorway into it, and that you're just going to grow and grow and grow.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that too. I feel like spirit doesn't want to tell me either.
Hmm.
But I'll just do what I'm aligned to do in the meantime, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great
I mean,
idea.
I'm 24, so I mean, I know things will happen when they're supposed to.
I think you're right. And I think that it's almost like it'll fall into your lap, and to just keep up with that self-love that you have, and just to cultivate that as much as you can. Because I do so many readings on women who have a lot of issue with self-love and just nurturing themselves from a young age. They rush into marriage, they rush into things that they're not ready for. They rush even into their career because they know that they should do something, but they don't really know what. And so they rush into something that isn't going to really benefit them long term, and they feel like they wasted their time. But
Mm.
I think it's great that you're being patient. I think it's great you have such a social structure of support. It's very important. And I really also feel like you may not realize it, but it's really, I feel like you're a little deprived in like doing the things you really love, maybe going out to a movie with a friend, or staying in and just having time with a friend. It's like your time with it's your son, right? You have a son. Like your
Yeah,
time with
I feel really guilty do stuff like that. It's
you
really
what?
interesting.
You feel like
I
what?
feel really guilty when I don't know, I don't want to be like a irresponsible mother.
Well,
So, I don't know.
I understand that. I understand that sort of guilt. That's a very common guilt. I think a lot of people, some people tend to say if you go out with your friends, you're selfish and you're not spending time with your child. But in reality, what's happening there is, we get so used to being around our children, we love being around them so much that we don't want to leave them. And I think that it's actually better for us to get that time of that self-care, self-nurturing, so that we can still cultivate ourselves. And then when we're coming back into the home with our children, they've missed us a little bit, we've missed them a little bit, and
Mhm.
we're happy
Yeah.
to see them again, like even more so than before we left. And then you're filling yourself up so that you can give more to your children or the people around you or school or whatever it is. It's about doing things that make you feel good, and it should be things that when you come home and you're done, you feel happier, you feel filled
Yeah.
up, and do you think that being around your son filled up and happy is better than if you're overwhelmed or you're not getting any time to yourself and being around him?
No,
Yeah.
no, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, that's just how it works. And I understand the guilt, but really it should be the other way around, because you
Okay.
really yeah, the more you nurture that self-cultivation and that self-love, it's going to really benefit you and your son. So he's going to have a happy mom around the more that you do
Yeah,
that.
sure.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, we have just a few minutes left, but I just want to see if there's anything else you want me to see if I can get a hit on.
Mm,
Any other questions?
well, no, not really. I'm
Okay,
just
we covered everything.
yeah, fine. Yeah. I know that what I'm supposed to do is going to come to me eventually.
Yes, I think so. And, I think as long as you just continue doing what you're doing, you're on the right track. And I think we
Hmm.
also went over just the right things for being on the air and being on the, having a video and being on the radio and everything. We didn't get too personal, but it was just enough to like give people an idea of what we go over sometimes. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, just stay on the same track. You're getting there, you'll get there. Uh, and I think that it's very possible for you to have your co-op environment, and I think you'd be surprised at how quickly that can come. Well, I'm all out of time. I have about 90 seconds left, but
Okay.
thank you so
Thank
much for being on tonight. I'm glad that we could do
All
the
right.
reading.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. All right.
And you have a wonderful night. I'm here anytime you need me. I'm also here to do readings for anyone else. My website's AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. It's at the bottom of the screen, and you can also see it on my Facebook page, which is Anna Olson Intuitive. So I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Please tune in next week, which is every Thursday here on A1R. You can also see this streamed live on my Facebook page, Anna Olson Intuitive, and you can always tune in as well on ask1radio.com, ask1radio.com, to see all about the information on readers and showtimes. So please have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next Thursday. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck Television. Welcome.
Time for Guidance with Glennis. With Glennis Ewing. Live from the tranquilroom.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Guidance with Glennis
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi there everyone, Guidance with Glennis here for another week here at the Tranquil Room in Albury, New South Wales. Oh, I'm so excited about today. I know I announced last week that I was going to have the beautiful Beth-Elaine Haynes joining us again, and we're going to be talking about our clairs. And, you know, like everyone sent me messages saying that they were so excited to see Beth coming on again. So it's my greatest honour and pleasure to welcome the beautiful Beth. So hi Beth, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you, Glennis. Thank you so very, very much. It's nice to get such positive feedback. And I love, you know, it's as you would know as well, Glennis, you know, one of the first questions when budding new spiritualists come in, they want to know all about the senses. So it's a wonderful subject. And as our last subject was the chakras, which is there's all the beautiful parts of the toolkit that come with being a practitioner or understanding the spirituality a lot more.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So, Beth, we're going to be talking about our clairs today. Now, so for those that are joining us and are opening up more and more on their awareness, the clairs are the abilities in different modes in which we receive intuitive information, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Glennis. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. It is our hearing, our seeing, our knowing, and a combination of all the above.
Yeah. I know. I really work with my within my senses. You know, there'll be times when I'm doing a reading, and all of a sudden, you know, I'll just get this massive smell of gum leaves. And I know when I did experience that, it blew me away, because the lady, she just looked at me and she said that was my grandfather, who he was a logging contractor. So she said he always smelt like gum leaves. So for me, my personal clairs that I work with freely, that come in possibly the easiest, is the claircognizance, which I get that clear knowing. The clairvoyance is the, you know, like the clear seeing, but it's also the clairentience is, I feel, you know, it's not just the empathic side of me. I know for me personally, because I've been doing this for so long now, that when I get absolute tingles down my arm, and specifically my left arm, I know that on a clairentience side, that's telling me that the person that's passed over has died from a stroke. And, you know, I just know, you know, I get to feel the different feelings within myself and know that it's not the empathic side of me. You know, so they're the three that really possibly work most for me. Is there a clair that you resonate with more than the others?
Clair visual. Well, I'm blessed to have all of the senses, Glennis, and I love that, you know, you've been able to identify that when this sensation comes in the left side of your body and sort of tingles, that it's the person on the other side that's communicating with you really beautifully. And the smell, I don't get, smells are, I get so excited when I get smells, because I don't get smells very often, but I get clear visual. I see spirit really, or deceased loved ones really clearly. They touch me as well, which is really, the first time that happened, I went, oh, who's tapping? But they're clear visual. I work with all the senses, and I just trust what comes through. And I think that's the biggest thing, is trusting what you're feeling, what you're hearing, what you know, what you're seeing, and developing trust in your natural abilities as a spiritual person, as a guide, as a mentor, and a person who is communicating with deceased loved ones if you're doing mediumship, because the person sitting in front of you, you know, they're vulnerable, they're most really brokenhearted, you know, they need to know that their loved one on the other side is safe, is well, is okay. So we are the deliverers of a lot of just comfort. We comfort people that are in pain through our ability with our senses, our clair senses. That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so good when you can, you know, as I said, I know that when my left arm gets all those tingling feelings, that I know that I've connected with spirit, and that's how they've passed over. And just to be able to give that confirmation to the person that you're reading for, you know, and it actually, and then once the messages start coming in, it can give them so much closure that they're able to move forward, or it's that comfort that they know that, you know, they've got spirit around them and, you know, they're supported. It's such an honour to do what we do. You know, it's not something that I take lighthearted, but it's, admittingly, it did take me a little while to work out what my best clair was, you know. But yeah, the clairvoyance is a huge one for me, and the cognizance, the seeing and the knowing. You know, it's just like, I know when I'm doing a reading, I quite often look over people, and my eyes are always darting backwards and forwards, and it's like I've got this movie in front of me, and I'm just seeing what's going on. You know, for me, that's how I know on what's happening. You know, it's great.
It's really
good.
different, you know, because every person that comes and sees you, Glenn, brings out another aspect of your ability, but also it depends on the person. You know, you'll get people that just whoosh straight in and sit on the chair if there's a spare chair there, you know. It can be quite amusing, and because, you know, our deceased loved ones have got a sense of humour. And also I get a lot of heat in my throat chakra when the person who's sitting, or I'm talking, or I'm doing Zoom, because, you know, as you know, we work all around the world, not just in our offices. But when the person that is sitting in front of me is stuck on a mistruth about the person who is deceased, my throat chakra nearly shuts down. It just gets, my whole throat gets really hot, and I go, okay, we really need to explore this. And I, you know, and then you'll wait for messages from the person on the other side if they want to speak. So that's clairsentient as well, you know, claircognizance, because it's the knowing and the feeling. But my greatest, now that you've put the question to me and I've had a few minutes to think about it, is clairaudient, because I'm a channel. So I have conversations with people. Then they may come in, then, but that doesn't always happen either, as you know. And I think it'd be really good if we explain to people the differences. Clairvisual is exactly how it's saying, clairvoyance. So that's our ability to see through our third eye, or through apparitions or visions of those from the other side, or in a different world, because the living can communicate with us like this as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
People, you know, my mum or people that I'm close to, they'll come to me and go, oh, okay, what have they got to say? Or do I need to check in? Like I needed to check in with you for about 3 days and didn't. So you'll get messages from the living as well as those that are on the other side. And then the clairaudient is, you know, it could be repeat words that you hear, or could be a song on a radio. It can be, oh, who said that? You know, it can be something as simple as that. So honestly, if someone's got a message to get through, they'll make sure that they get it through. You know, you've heard of spirits throwing things around houses and knocking things off walls and taking things away, you know, and putting them somewhere else. You know, so if there's a message that they need to get through, they'll make sure that we get it. And if you are sensitive to your senses, then that's a blessing, because then you'll know that you've got someone who's wanting to communicate. And that's when I always tell people to stop, to look, and to listen, and to sit with it and just allow it to happen. And it's not when the phone rings, Glennis, or, I think Jenny's coming. The next minute the phone rings, or they're knocking at the door. That's your ability to sense your Claire. Yeah, we're very, very blessed. We have all this amazing spiritual body that will help us understand our senses.
Yeah. I know, like, I remember doing a reading for this young lady, and I said I could just tell that she was driving her grandmother's car, and I said, but it's almost like every time you go past a certain pole that the lights keep flashing. And she said, yeah. And I said, and there's a certain song on the radio, and it's almost like every time you get to that position on the road, those two things happen. And I said, but it was your grandmother's favourite song. And she said, that's exactly what happened. And you just know, and you get it coming through, and you can see it. The message I got with all that was just to let her know that she was still with her, just not on a physical sense, but on a spiritual sense, absolutely. So obviously there was a lot of tears with that, but there was a lot of comfort. It's as I said before, it's such an honour to be able to bring comfort to these people. Because they come in quite vulnerable, and I say this word respectfully, almost desperately, to connect. So yeah, I just absolutely.
Their grief is so profound, Glennis. Their grief is so profound, and that's where trusting the messages that we get for them is a privilege, and something that we need to take comfort in, that we are of great comfort to those that are still here after a loved one has passed, and trusting the clairsentience and the clairaudience and the clairvisual and the claircognizance messages that we receive enables them to, one, feel supported and loved, but able to move on with their grief. It's a blessing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there are still times when I sit here and go, oh my God, when you finish with the reading and you get time to contemplate the whole thing, it's just like, wow, that was phenomenal, and you just know that it's not that you change someone's life, but you can actually allow them to move forward, and it's just mind-blowing sometimes.
Yeah, it's a privilege, Glennis. It's an absolute privilege.
Yeah.
Now, Beth, sorry.
No, go say what you were going to say.
The only thing I was going to add to that is sometimes I get after messages that I have to relay as well.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Yeah. Beth, are you ready to take a caller?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, true.
Okay, so we've got Charisma from Texas on. So, hi, Charisma, how are you?
Okay.
No. I just say Dave will bring her back, so we'll continue chatting away. So, Beth, do you ever, I know there are times, I get such a metallic taste in my mouth, and that always tells me that someone's receiving treatment. It's just, I've been able to work that out. Do you get a taste at all within your senses and working with your clairs?
I see density.
Okay.
I see density, and I usually get a message. But yeah, it's just a knowing. So that would be my clairsentient. So I get a knowing, and I feel a darkness. See darkness.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. We're just waiting for Charisma to come back on. So it's interesting when you actually get time to, and I think this is really important for anyone that's joining us today and developing their awareness to actually sit. And I know when I first started, I had pen and paper with me, and just whenever I was feeling something, I would write it down, and if I was getting this taste, I would write it down, so that eventually I could see that there was an absolute pattern forming. Okay. Sorry, Beth, I'm being told that there's no video.
while that's being, click on the, while that's happening, I'm just going to do a card until
Okay.
everything's back on. Oh, there you are. You're there.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
There you are.
All right, yeah, so pull a card and then we'll go back to charisma. Yeah.
Yeah, if she's still there. So that's soul song. Soul song. Yeah, I think that's a really nice explanation of how I feel about doing the work that I do. Glennis, is that it makes my soul sing. And I know that when you're able to create, or you're the medium, you're the catalyst in between realities and people's knowings and people's beings and people's lives. And if you're able to bring or open that channel within their mind, within their heart, within their soul to a greater version of who you are, both souls sing. Their soul sing and your soul sing. So because as a healer and as an empath and as a mentor and a coach and all the things and the many hats that we wear, is that we're here to bring people through. We're here to bring people through, and we utilize that and enable that through our many gifts and talents that we have developed and trusted. Not every single person is a healer, and so we have the opportunity to help people's souls sing.
Okay. All right. So, Beth, we've now got Shana from New Jersey online. So, hi, Shana. How are you?
I'm well.
Shana?
How are you?
Good, darling. I'm going to pass you over to Beth, and Beth's going to do a quick reading for you. So, go ahead, Beth.
Hi, Shana. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, excellent, darling. How can I be of service for you today? Do you have a question?
I have a question regarding my health. I've been ill for quite some time now, ever since I had my son, and none of the doctors really seem to know why I'm sick. And like I've been dealing with like a lot of migraines. Like I'm in pain constantly 24 hours a day, every day. And nobody really knows why. So that would be my question.
Okay.
Why
so I'm just going to
am I ill?
Yeah, definitely. You've got you've got a lot of congestion on your lungs and your sinuses. Okay. So I would be giving up dairy and dairy products if I were you. I'd also be contemplating giving up dairy because dairy makes mucus, and you've got a lot of mucus. And when you've got mucus encapsulating every cell in your physical and non-physical bodies, you're going to be in pain. So your body is toxic. So when your cells are toxic, you're in a lot of physical pain. You've also have on your T11, you've got lower back issues. I would be seeking maybe osteopathic, chiropractic, or maybe bone therapy, acupuncture, because your spine is way out of alignment, especially in your mid-thoracic, which is causing you heart pain. So it's almost like you feel like your chest is imploding, which isn't nice at all. Your left hip is also your whole skeletal system. You've got one hip back, you've got your left hip, could be mirroring you, so it could be the other way around. But your left hip is back and your pelvis is out of screw. You're out of screw width, so you're like this. So you're dominant on your right side. So your emotional side, your feminine side isn't in balance with your masculine. So you're out of balance energetically. Physically, you are your cells are not your mindset, darling. Your cells, so it's different, which is impacting upon your emotional well-being and your health. So I would suggest a detox, lots of nice soups, rich, warm food that's going to your kidneys are cold. You need to warm your kidneys. You need to warm your gut. You need to nurture yourself inwardly as well as outwardly. And then your skeletal system needs to be adjusted because it's impacting on your central nervous system and all your major organs, your heart, your kidneys. And you've got a lot of arthritics, you've got a lot of inflammation in your body. So this is causing you to be under a lot of stress and duress. So your body is inflamed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's nothing with my thyroid?
Oh, look, you could take, what do you call it? Yeah, slightly hypothyroid, but it's not that bad. There's a little tonic that I take. I just can't remember the name of it. It's orange. What's it called? You can get it from the health food shop. I just can't remember the name of it at the moment, but it's just a little drop. I take it myself. Isn't it silly? That would help. But a naturopath, if you go to a naturopath, she'd be able to look into your eyes and see iodine.
Okay.
Iodine. Iodine. I would suggest one drop.
Iodine? Okay.
One drop or maybe 2 drops underneath the tongue of a morning would be really, really, really good. And a multivitamin B or B12 drop as well, because it's impacting on your central nervous system, all this pain that you're in. So you need to calm your central nervous system and get some iodine just to balance out the thyroid. It's not too bad at the moment. It's not that bad that it's impacting on your physical being, although bringing it into balance would be of huge benefit for you.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that was powerful. Shana, just really take on board everything that Beth has told you. And straight away for me personally, I actually felt that there's a nerve being pinched for you as well. And I feel that started through the childbirth. I would be taking on board everything that Beth has said.
The first place I'd start would be a naturopath. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, because they, and then maybe an osteopath or
because I wanted to see like a functional medicine doctor, but my insurance won't cover it, and it's very expensive. So I kind of wanted to get like all of my body completely checked, like all of my like vitamin levels and all that stuff, and kind of like really dive into my body to see, what could be causing all of this, because nobody else has an answer for me.
Yeah, intuitively, you know exactly what's right for you. So you are absolutely right, and that's exactly it. See if you could do an exchange. Offer. I don't know what you do yourself personally, but just see if you could do an exchange for some of your treatments or something like that. Always negotiate with your gifts as well, because you're a beautiful lady.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Lovely to meet you. I'm down here in Australia, Gold
Thank
Coast.
you as well.
It's lovely to speak with you.
Shana, I'm also getting 8 weeks, and you're going to really start feeling a massive change. I've got a lightness coming towards you. So if you take on board everything that Beth has said and just start immediately is what I'm saying. Believe me, within 8 weeks, you're going to really start feeling a massive difference within yourself. So
sensational.
Okay.
Yeah, really good things are coming, darling. They really are. But you are definitely on the right track. And believe me, you're going to be sitting back thinking about this call and being so grateful in not the too far distant future. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Good things are coming, darling.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure, darling. Absolute pleasure. You, I dare say it's nearly the middle of the night for you over there, so have a great night. And thank you for the honour of allowing Beth and I to be with you today. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Beth, is there anything else you'd like to share in regards to the Clares, or is there any message that you're getting?
I think that the message for all of us Glennis, is to do what makes your soul sing. Tap
Beautiful.
into your divine being, trust the messages, the visions, the feelings, the knowings that you get, and step into all that you are and allow
Beautiful.
your soul to sing.
Okay. All right, Beth, it's time to head off again. So thank you for joining us today. I am so blessed to have you in my corner. And so everyone, from my heart to your heart, be kind to you. Have a fabulous weekend coming up. And I will be talking to you all very soon.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager Walker. Yeager Walk, live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. How are you this evening? We are coming up on another full moon and eclipse and Mercury retrograde. Holy moly. I don't know about you, but I have really been feeling this one a lot more than our first set of eclipses and full moons. And this is only the second of 3. So this weekend we have our second set, and then in 2 more weeks we have another one. It is what they're calling eclipse season. And it really is kind of wreaking havoc on everything. We can see that within the outside world with everything that's going on and the upheaval that's going on. But it's also affecting our daily personal lives as well. And so this weekend, I found myself really feeling kind of low energy and dragging, and I wanted to sleep a lot. And, you know, that's kind of the feeling we're getting right now with Mercury retrograde hitting us. And, you know, as a result, you know, I was kind of in this weird kind of funkiness. That's all I can call it, really. And so I was really kind of absent from posting anything on my site. And, you know, as a healer, as a spiritual person, you want to make sure that you are helping others and helping others feel good. And so you don't want that energy when you're posting or anything else to come through energetically, because it doesn't matter what you say through your words or post as pictures. People are going to be able to still feel the energy behind that. So for me, I was like, I don't want to put any more negativity or any more yuck into the world. I was just not feeling, you know, inspired really to write anything. And I had actually a session with my mentor this week, and I was explaining all of this to her. And she encouraged me to be human and to be vulnerable and to post anyway. And so that's exactly what I did. I got on my Facebook page and I posted that I was really feeling uninspired. I was feeling kind of icky, and I really didn't want to post before this, but just being in that vulnerable position to say, I'm human and you're human. And it's okay to be human and to have these human experiences. And what I was really doing was really not allowing myself to have those human experiences, because I felt like I was, a spiritual person, a leader, a teacher. I had people looking to me for guidance. And, in reality, it's really about just being who I am and being in that vulnerable position to say, yeah, not really having that great of a day. And that's okay, because what happens is a friend had actually Facebooked me and said, wow, I was feeling the exact same way that you were. So just by putting it out there and being that in that vulnerable position to say, hey, everybody, how are you doing? How is everyone, dealing with all this? Because here's how I'm feeling, right? It just gives, somebody else and, that position to be able to be human too, to go, I'm feeling that way too, and I get it. So I used my tools. I used my empathic tools. I went for my walk with my dogs and my husband, and I felt the energy of the nature around me. I did my breathing, I came back into focus within myself, within my body, and being present in that very moment. And that was the biggest thing that helped me, was just it was almost like I was outside of my body so much of the week and in this last couple of days, that I was really being brought back into myself in presence. And that's what I've really been working on this week, is staying present in the moment, not looking too far in the future, definitely not trying to look in the past at all, because that's done and over with, but staying present in this moment. And if you've ever tried to do this, it is really hard, because as humans, we are so programmed to look into the future, to plan for the future, to not let whatever happened in the past come back and affect us now. And so it's so, so important, especially when we find ourselves, the way, in the pandemic and in everything that's going on in the world, the racism, the riots, the emotional body that the world is having. It's so important to stay in the moment and be focused in the moment, to be focused on what is important to you. And yes, right now, it's okay to think about yourself and your family only, even if it's just for an hour, even if it's just for a day, to step away from the chaos and bring yourself back to center, bring yourself back to presence, and just have that time, that moment where you can find that presence, where you can be grateful for the things that you have. And that's another thing, is just in this time to be grateful for everything that you have right now in this moment. There's never been a time than now to be grateful for all of that. So be gentle with yourselves over the weekend. It's going to be a lot of fire in the air. It's charging us. It's moving us forward in our path, in our purpose. It's moving us forward to get creative and to do the things that are on our to-do list. And it can also throw a little bit of attitudes in there too. So just be aware of those around you and around yourself, and give yourself a little bit of a break this weekend. Get through this eclipse and this full moon before you start ramping up for the next one. But just take some time. Self-care is going to be huge this weekend. So please do take care of you. That is the most important thing that you can do right now. So with that, we are going to go to the phone lines. We have Brooke in Spring Hill, Florida. Good evening and welcome to Your Time to Shine. Hi, Brooke.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's very nice to hear you. I'm so happy I got through. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. So what can we do for you this evening?
I'd like some medium help if possible to connect with my loved one.
Okay, so do you have a specific question?
Yeah, my son's father passed away 3 months ago, and he passed unexpectedly, and I didn't have closure. You know, I didn't get to say goodbye to him, so just want to see if he's at peace.
Okay. Okay. Well, hang on just a moment. Let me see if I can tune in and get him here with us tonight and see what he has to say, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Brooke. So, yeah, I feel the heaviness. I right off, I have a real heaviness in the pit of my stomach. You know, I can feel the sadness and the pain that you and your family are feeling, and so I want to extend my condolences first off and say I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much.
It's so hard to lose a loved one. Yeah, I think he's showing me that he was a little shocked at his passing. He wasn't quite ready, he said. He had things that he wanted yet to do. He was quite young. I mean, was he somewhere in his 40s?
No, he was actually only 31.
Okay. Okay, so very, very young. He says he wants you to not worry. He is absolutely fine. He's saying that he he can't believe what is really on the other side. He was one of those that really didn't believe actually that there was anything beyond human existence. And he's saying that he was very wrong about that. He's watching over you guys, and especially with your son. Your son has been feeling him, has been seeing him. Your son is really young, right? He's only like
He's 8.5.
Oh, he's 8.5. So he's okay. So he's older than what was being presented. I was thinking more like 5. Okay, so he's feeling the presence of his dad. I don't think that he would probably be able to understand and actually quantify what that is for him, but he's feeling that presence. And he's actually getting a little bit of comfort from that presence. And again, he's not going to be able to really quantify that or verbalize that. So, you know, he's just saying, you know, let him know that his dad is there with him. And
yeah,
that's going to bring him some comfort.
Okay. Yeah, he's really struggling with his dad being gone. You know, he wasn't sick, so it was just very unexpected. Very, very unexpected.
Right. He keeps showing me something like in his in his gut, in his digestive system. Was there a medical issue that was going on with his gut or something?
No, we did do an autopsy, and the autopsy did confirm that he had a heart attack. They said his heart exploded, but he didn't, not that we know of, had any prior heart conditions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's showing me heart too, but he's showing me there's like there's this unrest feeling kind of like in the pit of his stomach. And so, oh, thank you. Okay. So that's exactly what it is. It's the feeling of the unrest in the pit of the stomach, the heaviness, that feeling of just being kind of off. And so, he knows that you guys are all going through this, but he said, if there's any way that you can, know and be okay with the fact that he is okay on the other side, and let that be that lightness for you. You're going to have to go through your grieving period, and there's no time limit on grieving, right? It's just each person is different. But he's showing me that, the biggest thing that you can do is just support your son in every way possible. And just by letting him know that his dad is around him all the time, and that he can talk to his dad, right?
Okay.
He's showing me that your son may not be open to that at the first, but there's going to be a time where he's going to feel comfortable with that. He's going to feel comfortable talking to dad. And then that's when
he's at nighttime. He has a lot of problems. He starts thinking about him. He cries a lot at night. It's very, very upsetting.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you so much. It gives me comfort knowing he's at peace.
He very much is. He very much is. He's showing me that he is, he is revitalized and he is new again. So what he's now doing is he's working on the other side to help you guys, to help you through this transitional time, and try to make that as easy as possible for you. Okay, well, thank you so much for calling in, and I hope that helped you. Next, we have Shantice in Michigan. Welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've got the sun shining in on my face. It's almost blinding.
Wow.
I know. What can I help you with tonight?
I'm just calling just to have a general reading, kind of see what comes to you, like what's up next for me.
Okay, perfect. Hang on for just a minute and let me tune in to see what your loved ones have to say, and I'll be right back, okay? One moment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Chantrice, so what's coming up for you is right now what's kind of playing out in the heavens with Mercury retrograde and the eclipse full moon. You're being really affected by this right now. What they're showing me is like you're spinning or you're off balance a little bit. You're feeling off balance, and that could be, physically or even spiritually, you're feeling a little bit off balance. And they're wanting you to know that you're just being affected by the energies that are going on right now. And everything is kind of coming together for you, so that it's almost going to come to like this point of explosion. And there's going to be all these new ideas, these new type of ways that you're going to be like, oh, I have an idea for that, and I know what to do in this situation. It's like this enlightenment period that you're going to have. They're showing me that you are a very spiritual person. You are an empath, and you feel everything very deeply. And you're also a healer. Do you work in the medical field right now in some capacity?
No, I do not actually.
Okay, because they're showing me that because of your healing properties, that they're showing me that you could be in that medical field, whatever, and it could even be, they're showing me like even massage therapy, that just working with your hands and working with people in that capacity is going to be very therapeutic, not only for you, but for them as well. And that over this next little bit, that healing capacity that you have is going to come through a lot stronger. It's going to be those ideas and those almost aha moments that you're going to go, oh, okay, wait a minute. This is something I've thought about before, and it keeps coming back. And so if you've been having a lot of like reoccurring thought patterns about a situation or a job, like a job change, if it keeps coming up in your awareness, that is your team, that is spirit, that is guidance that's being brought to you. And whenever you see a pattern and it keeps coming back into your awareness, that's just them trying to broadcast their message to you. And I'm being shown that you've been given these same thoughts or same patterns recently, and you've been wondering why they keep coming up in your thought process, because you're not thinking about them consciously, right? But that is spirit trying to get our attention to say, hey, check out this idea, check out this thought, right?
Oh,
Does that
so
resonate?
interesting.
Does that resonate?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Good. Okay. I feel like you have some really big changes coming up in your life, really positive changes. I feel like there's something with your job that's going to shift and change for you. And it's going to be it's going to be a shift and a change. There could even be some monetary benefits coming with that as well. I don't know that it's necessarily a raise, but there's going to be some other type of benefit coming through to you. So when we think of abundance, right, and we think of money, it doesn't always come in the form of actual money. It may come from, maybe there's more days off, maybe there's more sick time. There's other ways of having that abundance come to us through our job. So I'm being shown that there's going to be something coming through for you on that front.
And now that actually makes a lot of sense. Now, I also have been, for the past few months, I keep having the like weird dreams that I'm like pregnant, but I'm not pregnant, and I don't know where it's coming from.
So when we're dreaming of pregnancy, it means we're
Uh-huh.
birthing something new in our life,
Okay.
right? So that kind of goes along with what I've just been talking about with you, is that there's something coming up. There's an enlightenment period. You are
Mhm.
birthing something new. I mean,
Mhm.
figuratively, you are birthing something new, and you're giving life, right? It has to do with
Mhm.
birthing something and then giving it life. So, like I said, whether it could be, um, you may be looking into some type of a healing practice, um,
Mhm.
or something of a more spiritual type practice for yourself personally. Whatever
Mhm.
that is, there's something that is coming up for you, that is going to help you and kind of enlighten you in that respect. And so these
Mhm.
reoccurring dreams are just another way of spirit coming through in your subconscious while you sleep and saying, here's what we're going to do, right?
Mhm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense.
I feel movement. I feel, uh, are you looking at possibly moving to a new part of town, moving into a new house? Because I feel like there's some movement in the shift of where you're living, or what you're doing.
Well, me and my boyfriend, we are talking about when my lease is up, finding a place together, like buying a house together.
Okay. Okay. That's
Mhm.
where that is. There's a shift and an energy movement going in that direction.
Mhm.
So I think I see that coming up for you guys, in the future. Definitely, most
Okay.
definitely. Your team is giggling and saying, make sure she has an extra room for a home office. So,
Oh.
uh, yeah, they're saying make sure that you have your own space. That
Gotcha.
you're gonna need that space, not
Mhm.
only for you to be able to go and maybe just spend some time alone, because you are an
Mhm.
empathic person. You're gonna need
Mhm.
some quiet time, right, and some space of your
Yes,
own.
I
But you're
agree.
also, yeah, but there's also a potential of having a home office set up. So
Okay.
yeah,
I definitely can picture that for sure.
yeah, good, good. Well, Chantrice, we are coming down to the last few minutes of our show. And so I just want to say thank you so much for calling in this evening. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Thank you, you too. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye. Wow, that does it for us. Another Thursday, down in the books for us. Please visit me on my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. I have put up some upcoming classes, and Darlene and I, who used to host the show with me, we are going to be doing our Coffee and Connections with Spirit, the June edition. We got so much rave reviews in May. We decided to do it again in June. It's only offered to 10 people. It's a group session, where you guys get to ask questions to us. So do check it out. It's posted on my website and through Eventbrite. You can also reach me through my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium and Your Time to Shine. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Do take care of yourself this weekend through our eclipse and our full moon, and I'll see you back here next week.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Avid Advice Live with Fia Johansson. Live from AvidAdviceLive.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Avid Advice Live
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Thank you. Thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you for all the gifts and all the blessings. We hear you loud and clear. We hear your aching heart. And we hear your call for renewal.
Thank you, coronavirus. Thanks for the opportunities. Thanks for the opportunity of a lifetime to gain an unparalleled enlightenment. I thank the universe for the opportunities it is providing us now. The opportunity to slow down and reflect on our lives. The opportunity to rethink our being and the purpose of our lives. The opportunity to spend time with those around us and our loved ones. The opportunity to better get to know my partner, my kids, the love of my life, my parents, and all. The opportunity to re-evaluate our lives and our life directions as well as our purposes. The opportunity to refocus, re-energize, reorganize, rebuild ourselves. The opportunities to get out of our busy and self-focused lives and pay attention to the world around us. The opportunity to value our friends and social interactions. The opportunity to have access to product and services when we want them. The opportunity to recognize and appreciate every little things in our life that we did not even see before. The opportunity that we love another. The opportunity to see that even the pretty faces on TV are nothing but an image. The opportunity to realize that my worth is not my status. The opportunity to understand that we all need one another. The opportunity to believe in ourselves and believe in our power and believe in God. Thank you, COVID-19. Thank you, coronavirus. Thank you for value our friends and our social interactions. For the opportunity to have access to products and services when we want them. The opportunities to recognize and appreciate every little things in our life that we did not even see it before. Thank you, coronavirus. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. Thank you for allowing us to put aside all our problems. Thank you for stopping us. Thank you so much. Thank you for making us appreciate the luxury we lived in. The abundance of products, freedom, health, wealth, love, and anything we wanted. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, coronavirus. The earth was begging us and begging us and begging us to stop for a very long time. And thank you that you help the earth to breathe, to feel fresh and rebuild herself. This virus is with us, is an inside of our brain, our mind, our body, our soul. This virus came to us to show us how little and how tiny we are. This virus shows us the opportunity to see that the king of all beings is vulnerable to a tiny virus. This virus came to our life to show us that we are nothing than just soul. And this virus came to our life to show us to be kind and lovable, to send positive energies and love to others. Thank you, coronavirus.
I thank the Mother Earth for providing us with an opportunity to listen to it again. I thank for the second chance for renewal and refreshment and replenishment. I thank the universe for cleansing and purging all the negativity created for so many years, the pollution, the warming, the abuse of resources, the waste and our ignorance to protect our homes and our community. The nature is acting and reacting to our misguided ways. Isn't it time for us perhaps take a page from the lesson to recognize what's around us? Thank for the blessings that are coming our ways each and every day. I trust the universe to guide me, protect me, and direct me to being better than the day before. I thank all the gifts that I receive each and every day in my life.
There is somebody's mom here. She directed to you right now.
Fee was actually channeling my mother.
I have her right now with me.
She passed away 3 years ago.
She says, forgive me.
Hearing from my mom was amazing.
What she told you before, 3 days before she passed.
That she loves me and that she'll see me soon.
She's directing me another woman in the room. Please.
My grandmother was my mentor growing up.
There's two women that directed by her right now. You and her. She's talking about the man that she was concerned, and she's still concerned, and she asked for forgiveness for that man as well.
The man that you were that she brought forward to forgive, that's my brother.
She's telling you to stop being weak. Bring more confidence into your life.
You know, we're all at different points in our lives. We've all been through different experiences, traumas, excitements, joy.
She's proud of you. You're quick in something. You stopped something that was very hard for you to do.
You wouldn't think that a few, like 10 years ago, that I was addicted to drugs.
She says, I'm proud of you. Continue.
I never stopped asking the universe to show me the way.
She's talking about your pain. Let it go.
I don't have to have that story anymore. I don't have to hold on to the story of my pain, of my past, of my trauma. Today, I can let it go.
Let it go! She said, can you forgive me?
Yes.
Say goodbye to all things that could stop you to succeed, to feel good, to connect with your soul. Say yes high.
Yes.
Loud.
Yes.
Louder.
Yes.
She's asking you, can you forgive that person? She's directing someone else. She's directing a man. She's directing someone. Can you forgive that person? Can you forgive that person for her? Loud.
Yes, I forgive him.
Why you do forgive him? She want to know.
I forgive him for myself.
You are worthy enough to do everything for yourself. Not for anybody else, for yourself.
I know that takes a lot from her, but she gives. And she gives and she gives.
She's asking you to be strong, to be powerful, to be connected to your soul. You don't need anyone's affection and approval to be perfect. You are already perfect. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Just say, yes, I do believe in myself.
Yes, I do believe in myself.
Louder!
Yes, I do believe in myself.
Louder!
Yes, I do believe in myself. And I believed in her. We're all from Brooklyn, New York, so there was a very Jewish Italian community there where people's homes were open and they would intermingle and share their faiths, share their food.
She's talking about backyard. She's talking about the trees. She's talking about dishes. She's talking about the chicken. She's talking about the chair. She's talking about everything. Please direct her what she's trying to say.
Nana's house.
Nana's. My mom's house. We all lived together. I mean, they lived there with my mom and my dad. They were always together. We were always together. Always cooking. She actually made a better chicken parmesan than my mother.
Yeah, hers is better. But don't tell her that.
Yeah, don't tell my mom that.
Don't tell Nana.
There is a power in sadness. There is a power in pain. And the power comes when you overcome it.
Talking to her really helped me, I think. It's definitely gonna kind of just clear my mind of all the negative thoughts that I had.
My father, Congressman Ron Dellums, who passed away a year and a half ago, visited FIA.
Today was a day to remember Ron Dellums, who in 1970 brought to Congress an anti-war and anti-apartheid stance that was branded as radical and dangerous.
Oh my God. He's asking, do you remember my hand?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what I told you?
Yeah.
Do you remember why I told you?
Yeah.
Dellums' youngest daughter, Piper, is proud that her father became an early voice against oppression in South Africa, applying pressure that would one day bring an end to apartheid.
You said, take my legacy, take my mantle. You're the smartest person I know. Go into the world and heal the land and do it in your way.
You know, Ron never gave up. He never became bitter. He loved people.
This is not my hand, this is your dad. He wanted you to tell again, louder, louder, and clear what he told you.
I'm passing you my mantle, I'm passing you my anointing, and passing it to you. You're the smartest one that I know. Run. There's so much work to be done. Run, run, run and heal the world, and don't stop. Do it in your way. Run, baby girl. Do it in your way.
So she's spoken to me like a sister, but also like an angel.
He said, I saw you when you cried in front of that candle. Why did you cry?
She's given me the faith and trust and support that was being given me by my dad before he left. So she's done this beautiful transition of allowing me not to feel the void of his leaving.
I don't know where to go when I'm not speaking with you, or I just don't know how to feel safe in the world without you in it.
In the area where I don't have a female in my life because I don't have a relationship with my mother and I don't have a sister. She has stepped in with the feminine to remind me that I am also loved and purposeful and beautiful and worthy, that I'm valuable.
It's not just me that tried to basically sending you messages and changing her. So she changed me in so many ways as well.
So our silly song goes this way. We are the key to do more than just let it be. The key to our destiny is in the hands of our humanity. His love is more than a philosophy. 'Cause we are the key.
We are the key.
We are the
but
key.
diamonds key.
Back to Times Square today. I am your host, Greg Roulette, and I am very excited for our next guest because she is known as the Persian Medium, the subconscious mind surgeon. She's a motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. This is going to be a fascinating conversation with my good friend, Fia Johansson. Fia, how are you doing? Welcome
Nice
to the
to
show.
meet you. Thank you.
I'm so excited to talk about what you've been up to because you've been getting some major attention lately, some amazing work with law enforcement. You've recently been featured in Forbes, Wall Street. Like, what's going on? Like, let's just start there. What's been happening with you?
Yeah, I'm shocked too, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm honored to be featured on Forbes magazine and also co-authoring with Jack and Phil. And at the same time, I find my purpose.
Yeah.
And my purpose was about to help others. And I started my career with law enforcement when I was at the age of 17. And I started in Stockholm. And when I came to US, I feel that I have to do the same because I do have a gift. I could help people, 1 million of them worldwide.
Yeah.
And why not? They need me and I need them to make them to feel good, relief. And then every families who reached out to me because of their missing persons, because of a lot of other individual cases, the most important part was if I can bring any relief and any happiness to them.
Yeah.
Which for me was a blessing when I could feel that I could at least actually give them some closure for their thought, their emotional feelings, and then, connection with themselves again.
Exactly. Yeah, families, we need a lot of that right here, right now, today. Why do you think this is all happening now, right? Was it a certain case? Was it just you saying, I need to break? Like, why is all this attention coming your way now? The books, the media, the new business, like, why now?
I've always been around media. But this time, because of a couple of cases that I can't mention because of the security reason, I've been very known. And those cases been kind of huge cases. And Forbes got attention. That was a blessing.
Yeah.
And that was the feeling actually that I had. And then they reached out. They want to feature me. And then after that, everything. And I'm actually going to be featured on Wall Street Journal in July.
Wow.
So I had a interview with iHeartRadio today. They reached out after they saw Forbes, and it was amazing. People ask me, are you just finding missing people? Or are you kind of like just working with the law enforcement? No, I don't. I actually work with individual cases with people, like when people wants to talk to me and communicate with me, ask me about anything and everything.
Yeah.
It could be their love life, it could be their investments, it could be any other type of the cases, like as a business entrepreneur that they do have. So that's what I do. Actually help them
So
out.
when does someone seek out a medium? At what point in their journey, whether it's for a missing person, for a loved one, for like their own life, when do they seek you out? Are you the last resort to help give me closure to the case, or are people starting to really see the value in bringing you into a case early?
Definitely when all the cases are starting, so they know already about like what's going on around that case. But sometimes it's very hard to put all the puzzles together to find that specific person or that specific crimes. So that's why, especially cold cases, so that's why when I came in the middle, I'm receiving those messages, I'm connecting, and at the same time, I help them to put more puzzles together and more communication with people, and that would make them to succeed faster.
Now, is this something that law enforcement has been using for forever? Is this something new to them?
It's not something new. CIA actually used psychics for so many years, and also other law enforcement also using psychic. Google using psychics, and but it's not every person. So you have to have a talent, you have to have a gift, and they are not a joke. If you are not deliver, if you are just pretending or acting, nothing good is going to happen. So you have to have the gift, you have to have a talent, and they want to see the proof and test.
Yeah.
And believe me or not, you know, I think and I believe so strongly, law enforcement, they do have some psychic abilities by themselves because they knew what's going on, but they're not really believing in their inner voice or their thought and subconscious until they get in connect, example, with me, and I'm just like, well, you already found it, but you pass it down. Why? Because you doubted about it. So we do all have. We are based on energies. We pick up energies. We're receiving energies, but we have to listen and we have to connect with that energies.
What do you think it is that makes you unique? Like, why do they bring you in for these cases?
Because I'm stubborn and because I'm telling law enforcement what to do and not to do. And if they are not listening, I'm getting out from the room. And they know me. People who actually worked with me in the past, they know I'm real and I'm serious. People who may just shaking hand with me just because of other sources that have been interviewed or introduced by. So then they kind of like, it takes time for them, maybe about 24 hours or 48 hours to get to know me. After that, they would say, well, whatever you says, yes, we do.
I love that. And the stubbornness is taking you to really good places right now. I love it. Where do you want this to go? Like, so the writing the books, the getting the attention, working with law enforcement, working with, like, where do you see yourself growing this?
I have no roof. There's no roof for me. And as long as I can help other people, that's exactly what life is. I mean, I think I do have a gift just because of one purpose. Just be there for people and let people bring love and happiness to you. And as long as I know and I feel and I breathe, I would love to help as many as I can. So people who want to talk to me about their personal issues, because I'm a clinical hypnotherapist too, so I'm removing addiction, any type of addictions with hypno.
Yeah.
I'm also actually having master degrees, psychologist master degrees from actually University of Stockholm. So basically, I can do a lot for people as far as I did all my life. Like at the age of 7.5, when I found about my abilities.
Yeah.
From that time until now, everything is just rock for me.
I love that. Now, this is a fun question we ask everybody on the show. If you could go back in time, right? So whether this is you just starting your business, maybe it was when you were young and you found out these abilities, if you could give yourself a piece of advice, knowing now what you know and where this has taken you, what would you tell yourself?
Be your own leader. Lead yourself and always be yourself. Never try to pretend to be somebody. Never try to change yourself just because someone or somebody or some country wants it you to be. Bring your unique personality. Tap into your talent and energies and just bring inspiration to people. When we are sending love and inspiration, we are receiving the same. Yeah. So just be yourself, be happy, and be thankful.
I love that. Now, if someone is watching this right now, and I know they are, and they're like, I need a Persian medium in my life, I need her to help my organization, like, where can they learn more? Where do they see how you can actually help
Sure.
them?
I do have a platform named Avid Advice,
Okay.
A-V-I-D, Advice, avidadvice.com. So people can reach out through my avidadvice.com platform. I do have Instagram, Persian Medium basically. Just type Persian Medium.
Love it.
I have over 1,200,000 followers already, so I would love to have more followers. So, and also avidawakening.com is my place in Corona Del Mar, Newport Beach.
Okay.
But right now the waiting list is about like February 23rd, 2020. But people who would love to meet me face to face, I would say go to fiona@avidawakening.com, send an email, and I will be there for you in no time.
Lots of different ways to learn more, lots of different ways to contact you. Please reach out because she can help you, whether it's getting closure or learning more or getting that insight into what you need to know. Fia, thank you so much for being a guest here
Thank you so
today.
much. Thank you.
Definitely. And we'll be back with more from Times Square today in just a minute.
Welcome back to the Global Entrepreneurship Initiative. I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Fia Johansson, who's better known as the Persian medium and subconscious mind surgeon. She's a multi-talented motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. An author who works closely with law enforcement to help locate missing people and solve difficult criminal cases with detectives and as well as private investigators. Throughout her career, she's helped thousands of people identify personal roadblocks to help them truly believe in their own path to success, whatever that dream may be. Her greatest passion in life is helping others achieve their ultimate dreams and desires, teaching people to believe that truly anything is possible. Please help me welcome to the stage Ms. Fia Johansson.
Welcome back. Did you know that police departments across the country and even the CIA sometimes turn to psychics to help them solve cases? Victims' families looking for answers also turn to mediums for closure. Fiona Johansson is an author as well as a licensed psychologist and hypnotist.
Welcome back. Our next guest is a celebrity medium, a clinical hypnotherapist, a holistic healer, and holds a master's in psychology. Fia Johansson is known as the Persian medium, and she's even worked with intelligence agencies and law enforcement to find answers in cases. She also wants all of us to discover our best selves. Fia, good morning.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jack Canfield, your host for Hollywood Live. My next guest, Fia Johansson, is an amazing person. She is speaks 5 languages, which I find very impressive. She's emigrated to several countries, has a psychology degree from the University of Stockholm in Sweden. She is a hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist and healer, and God knows probably other things I don't even know about.
Hi, welcome back to Times Square today. I am your host, Greg Roulette, and I am very excited for our next guest because she is known as the Persian medium, the subconscious mind surgeon. She's a motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. This is going to be a fascinating conversation with my good friend, Fia Johansson.
For centuries, it's believed that mediums have been able to mediate communication between spirits of the dead and living human beings. People usually recruit mediums to help them get in contact with family members or friends who have passed on. But celebrity psychic Fiona Johansson is also using her abilities to help law enforcement solve cold cases and help exonerate and free innocent inmates. And Fiona is joining us now. Fiona, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing today? Welcome to Avid Awakening, a beautiful, gorgeous wellness center who will adjust you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Also, it will help you to manifest your finance, anything and everything you desire for. This place is a very beautiful place which is located in Corona Del Mar. So please book your appointment today.